Welcome everyone to the InSim Super Formula B series here on the iRacing servers. It is week number 2 here at the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. Qualifying currently underway, where we have about 2.5 minutes remaining, and I am quite excited. It's going to be one heck of a race. We had a fantastic race at Spa last week, and if you missed that, go back and watch. It's over in the live tab in YouTube, because for some reason YouTube decided to add a live tab and have that separate from videos, and it's completely confusing, but it's over there in the live tab now. But qualifying currently underway, about just now under 2.5 minutes remaining, as the PA system is not doing its job, of course. We are awaiting, of course, the completion of qualifying here. I'm going to see, I wonder if we can catch, I don't believe we'll really be able to catch anything. In fact, qualifying might be able to end early, we'll see. 19 cars this week, 19 drivers will be starting. Tomas Simone is back once again. He put on an absolute clinic last week at Spa. That PA system is actually going to be a little bit annoying, but we'll roll through with it regardless as we await the completion of qualifying. But Tomas Simone currently in the first place position in qualifying by 5/10, so half a second, give or take. Otherwise, hopefully everyone's doing well for the time being. I am quite excited for this race, considering everything that I've seen leading up into this race is it could get relatively spread out. The entire field spread right now about 3.5 seconds. So we'll see how things go. Looks like the last driver has technically completed qualifying, so I wonder if we can actually go ahead and go through our starting grid for the race. Which for some reason, ATVO is having a little bit of a moment, so we will redo that. Hopefully everything should be fine, but it appeared where it shouldn't have. But worst comes to worst, we do have the timing screen, and I will do my absolute best to bring you all the information possible. So it's going to be potentially a lot of readouts. Ah, there we go. About 20 seconds left in qualifying. We won't get the bubble up because it's 20 seconds left in qualifying. But we will go through the starting grid, and we'll get that up on screen for you right now. Tomas Simone will be starting off in the first place position. Second place, it's going to be James Byrne. For number 2 is going to be Sam McBride. For some reason, that's going to try and reset itself. But Sam McBride and Andreas Henkel will start off in 4th. 5th place is Antoine Quilcini. 6th place being Anthony Cat. Gregor Gomez, I believe that's how it's pronounced, or Gregor Gomes, is starting off in 7th. George Rensburg is starting in 8th. 9th place is Jacob Oberslag. We saw him last week at Spa. And then Christian Schuschke will start off in the 10th place position. João Neto starts off in 11th. Michael Slonat starts off in 12th. 13th and 14th are Maxime Dumoulin and Alexander Martin. 15th place is going to be Matthew Kokan and Lyle Pinar. Pinar? I think it's Pinar. I don't know the exact inflection of that, but we're going to go with Pinar for the time being. But he will start off in the 16th place position. Starting off in 17th place is going to be, looks like Gabri Martinez. There we go, Gabri Martinez. And then Lucas Hayden starts off in 18th. And then 19th place will be Mario Baudelos, who did not set a qualifying time. The only driver to not set a qualifying time either. So that is your field throughout, or at least your field starting here for Interlagos Super Formula. Everyone gritting for the time being, waiting. You can already hear the engines I bumped down the sound just a little bit as well. But in the meantime, very, very excited for this. I believe, yes, that is Tommaso Simone on the left-hand side in that all-white Super Formula. You quite literally cannot miss him. Just waiting for everyone to grid. Just a few more drivers in the back, it looks like, have yet to grid. But I am excited. This is going to be amazing. 28 laps here, an estimated 36 minutes. As it looks like the lights are up here.
Green flag.
And the green flag is flying as everyone goes down the way. They are 5 wide in the back. 5 wide in the back. Let's take a look at this as the already contact made. That is, I believe, the 5 spinning. Absolute carnage I'll take a look at later on. Tommaso Simone has already checked out. Everyone single file now as they go down the first straightaway. 200 seconds, or 100, yeah, 200 seconds to push a pass or overtake at least available to the Super Formulas. 100 seconds for a recharge. Not for a recharge, a 100 second limitation before you can use it once again. And you'll see that the rapid flashing green light just at the roll hoop is when overtake is active. You see the green light right there. Thanks to Tommaso Simone for having an all-white car. We're going to wait for the field to sort itself out here momentarily before we go ahead and check back into the back of the field and see what exactly had happened here. Checking through, looks like not many, I think at the end of the day, pretty much, well, almost everyone's going. That is Alexander Martin, who is missing quite literally the entire back half of his car. And just like that, lap 1 is complete, so we'll go ahead and switch over and get a replay here of the first lap and see exactly what happened. We'll go back a bit more. It's always fun when technology just doesn't fully cooperate, so we'll see what we can do here with this. Seem to be having a few issues with that apparently, so that's fun. We'll see if we can get the lap 1 wreck here in just a couple of moments. There we go. So this is lap 1. We'll ride on board. This is Gabriel Martinez. In fact, I'll switch over to Lucas Hand. Lucas Hand will start in pit road. We'll see what exactly happened. Just a little bit of contact made. We'll focus on Matthew. This is Matthew Cocoon that did get turned. And then just absolute chaos behind them. One of those drivers is Lyle Pinar, so we'll go back one more time. I get a different angle here. As it looks like, just netcode, unfortunately. And then the immediate tow, which, yeah, I don't blame them. Well, finally back live. Quite a ways later, but we are indeed back live. So currently focused on the battle between second place, Sam McBride, right here in the center of your screen, and then third place is Andreas Henkel. That was also another battle around the 12th place position, or 11th. Christian Schuschke in that all-orange car. Orange and black, more technically. As Mario Bogalos is going to be following suit. Let's ride on board Andreas Henkel here, down the straightaway, not using overtake. In fact, in recharge mode, by the looks of it, a drag race down the start-finish straight. Same with Anthony Catt and James Byrne. James Byrne goes up to the 4th place position. A bit of a 2-in-1 there at the same time. It looks like Mario Bogalos does get by Christian Schuschke. Schuschke. Not Schuschke. I was close. It's Schuschke. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Regardless, already quite solid in here, lap 4:28 here at Sao Paulo. Sam McBride already looking to make a little bit of a strike here. Let's see how things go. So right on board this battle, taking a look from the gearbox essentially, or from behind the roll hoop, the side of the roll hoop, the angle. You see it overtake on 190 seconds left for McBride. And if we take a look here, you can see the rapid flashing green halo there. And then right when I say that, turns it off immediately. So trying to get that run just out of the final kink. That looks like Oberslok and Neto are battling side by side as they go back into the Senna S's. The Senna S. Alrighty, this is going to bring in Gregor Gomes. Who very easily gets by Neto, who might be in a recharge. No. I don't know, I keep calling it a recharge. I think it's just a force of habit. It's not technically a recharge, it's more just a limitation. Not exactly a handicap either. Let's take a look from the blimp here at Anthony Cat running 5th place. It's kind of, I would say, on his own, on his lonesome, but not technically. That is more Tomas Simone, who is 100% all on his own. A 3-second gap so far to the rest of the field. Last week he won by, I believe, about 15 seconds at Spa. Let's see if we can catch any battles here down the main straight. Well, it doesn't look like anyone is... I was going to say, it doesn't look like anyone's relatively close, but we do have this bring battle for the 9th place position with Arnones and João Neto. In fact, that's actually 8th place. That's Oberslok and Gomez. As they're going to go side by side. Oberslok just hangs out on that position on the outside, although Oberslok is going to try again going on the left-hand side now. You don't really see a pass on the outside here. Turn number 6. And in turn 7, Oberslok just stays on the track still. And they still remain side by side, wheel to wheel. As Gomez does get by, Oberslok put up a very, very fantastic defense. That's only lap 6 of 28, though. So this battle could continue for the rest of the race for all we know. Let's check back in. Let's check back in. The closest battle pretty much is around this area, so we'll stick back here for the moment. You can keep up with any of your favorite drivers over on the left-hand side with the very wonderfully colorful timing tower, which I absolutely enjoy. And yes, it is based off of the, relatively based off of the colors that these drivers are running for the most part. I even try and modify that later so it has more than just one car color, so you know who is who. But regardless, 9th place, Oberslok is starting to become under fire, actually, as Schuchka gets by Neto in the back. Neto's starting to fall back. I wonder if there's any damage to the front wing. Doesn't look like it. Don't know what's happening to Neto. Maybe just falling off pace a little bit. Maybe caught off guard. Having to regroup. Luckily, only 22 laps to go, I believe. So hit lap 28 should be, 21 laps to go. So there is still quite some time to get back into the rhythm and get everything sorted out. The ever so fun drone camp here for Junkao. That one relatively spread out, so now we have to see. Yep, here we go, as Oberslok is using a little bit of overtake. You can use it in the corners. It's not as powerful as the open wheel. I'm pretty sure I could say F1 at the very least. It's not as powerful as the F1 energy recovery system, that ERS. It's not as powerful as that necessarily, I don't believe. Of course, the difference is you can't use that for 100 seconds. 100 seconds is quite a lot of time. Already here, one lap is 75 seconds. Actually, no, it might be 85 seconds. 85 seconds. It's a minute 15 seconds. A little bit of math. So basically, a full lap, Oberslag is not going to be able to use that overtake. Although Mario on the number 5, however, who's just lurking behind, in fact, we're right on board with for a little bit of time. He's definitely going to be able to have a little bit of a strike here. And in fact, I think Oberslag got a little bit loose there. This is, of course, a very tricky section. That was turn 10. So let's see, take a look at the steering wheel here. Yeah, there we go. Overtake on. 140 seconds remain. As they thunder down in the main straight through turn 15. There goes Mario down to the driver's left-hand side. Moves himself into the 9th place position. A little bit of a lockup, though, but he just manages to hang on. Fantastic work, despite a minor lockup. Great job. And he's still using overtake, actually. You can see the rain light, or would be the rain light, rapidly flashing there at the bottom of the car, and now it's off. Which is also a very good indicator for drivers behind that, hey, this person is using push pass overtake. I'm going to use both interchangeably for quite a while. Now you can see how close the drivers get to the grass, that they actually kicked it up onto the racing surface just a little bit. 20 laps to go here at Sao Paulo. And if you're enjoying this broadcast, and that's fantastic, just leave a like. That will do. That will be more than enough. But if you feel inclined, I am doing this just for fun. If you feel inclined, you do not have to, and nobody has to as well. You're not obligated to. There's a link in the description if you feel a small tip is worthy. Again, not necessary. But if you feel like, oh, this person's doing a pretty good job, I want to support them, go ahead. But no pressure to do so. Let's check back in, and then let's go through the field, actually. Well, right when I say that, maybe not as the 15 had spun. That is Cocoon. Oh, it is Matthew. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We'll take a look here momentarily to see what happened. Take a look at the replay and see how he got around in the first place. Oh, it was, yeah, okay. I can understand that 100%. We'll jump back one more time here. We'll ride on board. You should see the car pitch a little bit. Not really, but you could hear the underside of the car scraping against that curb, and that is exactly what upset the car. And I've experienced that many a time. And I can understand the annoyance for that. That is for sure. Coming back live now as we check in with your leader, Tomas Simone, who has quite literally, well, made his checked out once again. 9,000 iRating coming into this race, in case anyone is interested. So fantastic job for Tomas Simone. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him in the IR01 series at some point in the future. But he seems to be very much at home here in the Super Formulas, that is for sure. Started first, running first, the same story, just a different verse. I believe that's how that saying goes. But, let's go through the field while we still have a chance. Up 11:28, second place is Andreas Hengel. Started fourth, running second. Doing a wonderful job at maintaining pace. In fact, has gapped the person that he was battling a little bit earlier, Sam McBride, who is going to be under fire momentarily from a few cars behind him. But McBride, on paper, not doing too bad, I'd say. I mean, started third, running third. That's a win in my book, almost quite literally. However, he does have a certain somebody behind him, and that is James Byrne, who wants to go back up to second place after starting there, finally getting into the race rhythm, finally has gotten into the race rhythm more accurately. And so we could probably actually see him make a little bit of a move for second place or for third place on McBride momentarily. We'll keep up with that as much as possible. Fifth place, Anthony Cadd doing a relatively solid job still, of course. Started sixth, running fifth. Nearly a rhyme right there. Not much to say. Of course, a little bit of a quiet day so far for Anthony, but I'd rather have a quiet day and just maintain position rather than a not so quiet day and losing a lot of positions. And Antoine Colcini looking to trade positions with Anthony Cat to get back to where he started in 5th place. I go back to 7th place, George Rensburg. Started 8th, currently running in 7th place again. Not too bad, doing a relatively solid job at maintaining position. And another person who wants to trade position, of course, is Gregor Gomez. Gomes. We're gonna go with Gomez. We'll stick with Gomez for now. There's no accent above the E, but we'll go with Gomes because there's no accent above the E. So apologies if there is any mispronunciation. Regardless, 9th place is Mario Botelos, who started in pit road, I believe, actually. Started 19th, did not qualify, did not set a qualifying time more accurately, and I believe he actually did grid. Relatively solid day for him, though. Just wasn't able to get a qualifying time in. Jacob Ugelslok, we saw last week at Spa, of course, doing a fantastic job, still maintaining position. Battle just up ahead as Gomes gets by Rensburg. We'll go back to 11th place of João Neto. Started 11th, running 11th on paper. Maybe not the best, but still in the race. Again, I would call that a win personally. Very noticeable green color, green and blue, a little bit of yellow as well. And of course, Christian Schuschka, who we saw a little bit earlier, looking to get that race pace back once again as well. Started 10th, running 12th. Going to get us a couple positions. He does have Neto in his sights, so keep an eye on the timing tower on the left-hand side for the time being. So Neto, that's a little bit loose there. Maxime Dumoulin, started 15th, running 13th. Not much we can really say, but still again maintaining pace, and I'd rather that than anything else. This is Miroslav Nat, but I'm not sure why our data isn't coming up anymore. That's a bit concerning. But this is Miroslav Gnat, who is currently running in 14th. 15th place is Lucas Hand. 16th place, for some reason now it comes back, is Matthew Cocoon, who we saw have a little bit of a spin earlier, just trying to at least recover and get to the end of the race. 17th of Alexander Martin is 2 laps down, but still in this race. Very much a lot of props to Martin for continuing to run. Gabriel Martinez is currently scored in 18th place, and Lyle Pinar involved in a lap 1 crash as well, who has since towed, and I believe has still been trying to get everything repaired. In fact, yeah, has been out since lap 1 effectively. So we'll see how things go if Lyle is able to at least get a position. Props to Lyle for still being in the race. If we're just sitting there and just waiting. In the meantime, Tomas Simone making his way around live traffic. Andreas Henkel is still in second. 3rd place is Sam McBride. Could potentially be under fire from a few of the cars behind him, James Byrne and Anthony Cat. No use of pushing past this lap. In fact, let's go over to Neto and Schuschka. So it looked like there was a spin earlier. That is Oboslak, who gets passed by both now and Schuschka. Both Schuschka and Neto are unavailable or not able to use overtake for the time being. Schuschka goes to the driver's line. Neto forced to take a very, very defensive and narrow line into turn number 1 throughout the Senna S. I would go back and we'll see what happens to get Oboslak in this position momentarily, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle because Neto is going to be under all of the defensive driving right now. And Schuschka is going to try and do his best to get into the top 10 positions. In fact, I believe they have brought a 4th car into this. I believe that is Dumoulin. But we'll bring this up. There we go. It's a little bit blocked by the iRacing logo. We'll solve that by next week. But regardless, definitely a brewing battle. I'd be a little bit worried if I had all of these cars behind me, and we should see at least maybe this lap once they go into the main straightaway. No, overtake being used by all 4 drivers here as they all try and do what they can here. 78 seconds. Shushka isn't using his anymore. It looks like turning off that overtake a little bit early has helped Shushka enter turn 1 a little bit better. In fact, it just helped Shushka enter turn 1 a little bit later. Neto goes defensive. A little bit later, Neto goes defensive. Right-hand side goes Shushka. Do we get a pass on the outside lane? Not quite. Shushka is going to try and find every which way to go around. Neto is 100% driving defensively right now as they nearly make contact going uphill throughout the completion of Sector 1. Just a line of nothing but 4 cars here as they go through turn number 10. Uphill once again down to turn 15 and then the main straight. None of these 4 drivers are able to use overtake for the time being. Nearly 10 laps to go as this battle for 10th place continues to just build and build and build between all 4 of these drivers. João Neto in the green, Christian Shushka in the all orange as Neto goes off the track. He slides in turn number 1. I don't believe he hit the wall. I don't see any damage to him. He's going to have to get off track very quickly. I think he stalled the engine, actually. Now he's able to get back going. And just like that, it turned from a battle of 4 cars to 3. An easy pass for Christian Shushka. And we'll go back and take a look at what happened to Neto. Oh, he got on the curb. Great job by Neto to nail the throttle and get back going, but that's pretty much what also caused him to stall out, riding on board real quick. And let's just listen in. I won't be able to listen in, apparently, as we do not have the audio for some strange reason. Well, we get that sorted very, very quickly here, and then we will do that one more time with the audio. Apologies for that. There we go. Let's try that one more time. And right here, he just stalled it. And then he manages to get back going. Well, 20th time is the charm in terms of trying to make sure the replay works. Of course, that was Hand and Nat passing by as they had battled side by side. 10 laps to go at the start-finish line for Tomas Simon. 6 seconds between himself and Andreas Henkel. 6 seconds between Henkel and Sam McBride, who is a little bit under fire from James Byrne. Anthony Catt, who counted that? Actually, yeah, I counted, and of course, Antoine Colcini. I believe a little bit by Gregor Gomes. But 10 laps to go regardless here at Sao Paulo in the IMSIM Super Formula B series here on the iRacing service, as Nat has not run into an issue. I saw something happen here, but take a quick look at this. In fact, Oberslach is just gotten by Maxime Dumoulin, still using overtake, as Dumoulin is trying to get by without overtake. Better straight line speed set by the looks of it. Side by side, tries to dive it in, and it just barely sticks, I think, actually. Shows enough of a nose to at least mess up the line a little bit for Oberslach, but Oberslach recovers very, very quickly as able to retain that 11th place position. Very good mini battle there between these two. I don't think they're quite done just yet. I'll check back in on them momentarily. Looking down the order. Oh, here we are. 1 lap later. The difference between Sam McBride and James Byrne, or rather the lap difference between Sam McBride and James Byrne, is 0.08 of a second. That is how much faster James Byrne is compared to Sam McBride. I believe we actually do have a graphic for this. As long as it does play. Nice, there it is. So keep an eye on that interval throughout the throughout this little bit of a battle here. 0.5 of a second. Just ride on board and listen in. Well, you see where the previous lap is. 0.08 of a second swings the other way in Sam McBride's favor. Is you're just trading lap times essentially. As Anthony Catt is lurking in case anything does happen between these two. If they do go side by side, then it will be a three-way battle for the third place position. We still have about 7 laps to decide that. As through they go, through Junco they go all the way uphill. Turn 13, turn 14, and then turn 15 right here. Cutting it very, very close to the pit wall. Let's see, what's the difference this time? Goes right back in the favor of James Byrne. These drivers do have push and pass available if they do need it. The difficult part is deciding how much to save up. I'm pretty sure that some of these drivers really want to save up and math out. It's very hard to do it in seconds. Well, not necessarily, but you know, if you have 100 seconds of overtake, let me try and phrase it differently. If you have, it'll be very difficult because you have to math out the 100 seconds that you cannot use overtake for once you disable it, and then you have to time that in order to maybe get the use of overtake for the entire last lap. Well, that's quite a lot of time. That is a total of 185 seconds, I believe. 85 seconds accounting for the lap, 60 seconds, of course, for the full minute, and then the extra 15. So you have to use overtake until you get to about 85 seconds left, and then you have to time out that 100 seconds to coincide with that last lap. So this is effectively the saving phase, the who would blink first kind of portion of who would use their push to pass. Again, these two just trading lap times back and forth. Now Sam McBride a little bit faster. These two are just pushing each other to go even faster. I'm absolutely enjoying it. Anthony Catt is not too far behind in terms of lap times. He is just a couple hundredths quicker than James Byrne. 1 minute 15.223 for Anthony Catt. You see him just off in the background there. So these two do go side by side. It could be possible that Anthony Catt does get brought in. Brought into this battle for third place. Checking in with the rest of the field, and those battles in between 7th, 8th, and 9th look relatively close. And just a few cars around each other. Lap car, that is the 17, being letting everyone else through. That is Alexander Martin. Again, props to Martin for finishing out the race despite being 3 laps down. Again, props to Lyle Pinar for being dead last and still in pit road. I think just waiting for repairs to finish up. This is a battle for 7th place, Mario Bodlos and Antoine Colcini. These two in a world of their own, essentially, for the 7th place position. And much like Spa, we're going to have to cut through these battles very, very, very quickly. In fact, we'll see Colcini is using overtake, or push to pass, whatever you want to call it. Goes up to the right-hand side, side by side. Can't get the preferred lane, can't get the run. Just not enough, but he does have the slipstream, so we'll see. Does he go up the left-hand side? He does. Flying around the uphill section. As these two continue to trade positions, wheel to wheel they go. We saw this earlier. And just edges out Colcini is Bodlos. As Colcini does bobble a little bit, pushing the rear tires off the car effectively. Right on board. You see that purple light flashing on the steering wheel on the left-hand side. That means Colcini is not able to use overtake. So we'll see if Pure slipstream moves to keep an eye on the light on Bodlos. If that does start flashing, then he's using overtake. But for now, it doesn't look like he would need overtake to at least defend as they go side by side. Wheel to wheel once again, down into turn one on the outside, and pass complete for Antoine Colcini up to 7th place. And it looks like Bodlos is in recharge mode as well. Can't use overtake, so that is why he didn't use that down the main straightaway. Not sure if it's a thing on the actual course, but it would be absolutely amazing if there could be just that same light pulse that there is on the roll hoop on the rear light of the car. But to be fair, that could be used during the rain light, so when it's raining in real life. Genuinely not sure. I wonder if that could be a thing added eventually. Well, to be fair, we will be having rain lights, no doubt, added around maybe, hopefully, March. We'll see. I am very excited for that, and that would change just the entire course of, well, quite literally the entire course of an entire course, as well as how these cars will drive in the rain, how these drivers would handle everything, especially with if there are transitional periods with dry to wet and wet to dry. I could just turn every strategy up on its head. Colcini using all of his overtake down the main straightaway. Bodlos, not so much. Turns off overtake, entering turn number one is Colcini. Let's check back in with Sam McBride and James Byrne and potentially Anthony Cat by proxy. Still 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Nothing doing as of yet. They are still, I wouldn't say trading lap times. Anthony Cat was the fastest of the three, a 1 minute 14.98 or 998 for Anthony Cat. James Byrne a 1 minute 15.232, and Sam McBride a 1 minute 15.078. So McBride has pulled the pace out on James Byrne to be able to relax at least a little bit for the time being. Other than that, everyone is relatively spread out just by about a second, give or take. Save for Rensburg and Bodlos, who are just about a second separated. Let's check back in with Tomas Simone, who is using overtake just, I think, just for fun at this point, as he is just putting on an absolute clinic. I think he's going to try and go for the fastest lap, actually. Let's ride on board. Overtake is on. He has 120 seconds left of overtake. I think it's going to, well, we'll see. I wonder if he's trying to go for fastest lap now. You see that rapid green flashing, and of course the very obvious green overtake on. You don't have to use the entirety of your push to pass or overtake by the end of the race, as far as I know. It's very hard to do in the first place, but I think he's just going to use it for the rest of this lap, actually. He's going to use it for the last 2 laps. So Simone putting on enough pace to Horns leaving it on. He won't have overtake left right here when it comes to the next lap, so we'll see how this goes for him. But final lap, white flag in the air for Tomas Simone. We'll keep an eye on him in case anything happens. He does have overtake on still. That last lap was the fastest lap of the session, a 1 minute 13.957. Andreas Henkel 8 seconds back. Can't really do much. We'll check in with Tomas Simone in a second as James Byrne and Anthony Cat go side by side. Anthony Cat has called out to James Byrne with the use of that overtake. Down the straightaway they're going to go. Anthony Cat with the very much preferred racing line here. Down the straightaway. Wheel to wheel they go. Does Cat edge out James Byrne into the corner? No, not just yet. James Byrne still remains side by side. They're going to go up the hill all the way through turn 5 and 6. Anthony Cat again with a preferred lane. He'll go to the 5th place or 4th place position as James Byrne tries to dive back. Actually, Anthony Cat does lock up a little bit, and he just gets by, and that could be the day over. Tomas Simone with a dominant performance once again, 2 weeks in a row for the Saturday top split. It's Tomas Simone going the victory lane once again. Top step of the podium. Andreas Henkel will finish in 2nd place. Sam McBride will finish off in 3rd place unless anything happens. We'll check back in now with 4th place. Anthony Cat has just gotten by James Byrne with the use of overtake. He will finish 4th. James Byrne finishes in 5th. 6th place is going to be Gregor Gomez. 7th place for sure, and Antoine Colcini. Mario Bartlos finishes 8th. 9th place is George Remsburg. Jacob Oberslag, I believe with a spin earlier on, will come around to finish and round out the top 10. A fantastic job by that number 7 car. Christian Shushka will finish in 11th. 12th place is Maxime Dumoulin. 13th, making his way around, is Lucas Hand. Not the best day for him, but he still manages to finish the race, and I would call that a win in my book. Of course, there are other splits. This isn't the only one, so we'll see. He's using overtake to get to the start-finish line. João Neto, not the best day, but still manages to come out with a finish. Props to him, as Miroslav Nat will be rounding out the top 15, and the finishing drivers, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, are Matthew Cocoon, Alexander Martin, Gabriel Martinez, and Lyle Pinar. As there he goes across the start-finish line. A fantastic job by everybody this race. Wow. What a race. There we go. Well, that was absolutely 100% a lot of fun. A lot more spread out than before. Or a lot more spread out than before, as if we've been here before. A lot more, I'd say a lot more spread out compared to Spa, because at Spa last week, again, go watch that if you missed that. But there were a few drivers that were, I think there were at some point like 3 drivers battling for about 5th place at Spa last week. So that was a definitely a little bit more spread out. This one favors more, I believe, more downforce by the looks of it. And this was just absolutely incredible showcase. Your finishing results, once again, even though we went across everybody at the start-finish line, we will take a look regardless, as Tomas Simone finished off in the 1st place position. Once again, a dominant performance by him. Congratulations to Simone. Andreas Henkel finished in 2nd, Sam McBride 3rd, Anthony Cat 4th, James Byrne in 5th, Gregor Gomez, Antoine Colcini, Mario Bodlos, George Rensburg, and Jacob Oberslag round out your top 10. And then the rest of the field is Christian Shushka, Maxime Dumoulin, Dumoulin, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Lucas Hand finished off in 13th. João Neto 14th. 15th is Miroslav Nat. Matthew Cocoon finished 1 lap down in 16th. Alexander Martin 1 lap down in 17th, who we saw a little bit earlier. Gabriel Martinez and Lyle Pinar involved in a lap 1 crash in turn 1. But a very, very wonderful race regardless. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I know I sure did. And once again, if you're interested, you do not have to and you're not obligated to. But if you like the broadcast and you want to just leave even just the myriads, the smallest of tips, there's a link in the description below. But again, it is not necessary and not required. Just if you want to, it's there. But we will be back next week at Watkins Glen for the MCM Superformula Formula B series here on the iRacing service. Next week is Watkins Glen, and then I will be trading off indirectly to JP Broadcasting, who, to my understanding, is doing the Sunday split, the Sunday top split, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes over there at JP, just to be kind. I figured I would do this because, to my understanding, JP was not able to do this, so I figured, you know what, I'll do this for fun. So here I am. But next week is Watkins Glen, and then JP Broadcasting will be doing the rest of the Formula B series on Sundays. I believe the 2030 GMT split. But regardless, Hopefully you all enjoyed. I know I sure did. We will see you all next week at Watkins Glen.